Hello and welcome to the YouTube channel of mprugs.com. My name is Mike, I'm the moderator. I welcome you to our channel. Hope you and your family are doing well. In today's episode, I'm going to be featuring a handmade silk Persian rug that was actually submitted by one of our viewers to our YouTube channel, and I'm going to give you tips on how I looked at the rug. I was able to then give him the information that he needed, and this is something that I do as part of our channel that is all about Persian rugs, where I not only showcase different types of Persian rugs and handmade carpets from around the world, but I also answer questions from viewers to our YouTube channel or from our website at mprugs.com. And so whenever possible, whenever I get emails from folks, and in this case we had Clint from Australia who sent me several pictures, and they were exactly of the type of format that I need, which I will describe to you later. I was able to look at the pictures and give him some pointers and give him some tips and information about the rug. So if you are, whether you own a Persian rug, whether you're thinking about buying one, or in his case, he inherited this beautiful piece and he just simply wanted some added information, please feel free to watch this video. There's also links below in my description below, where you can actually watch the video that I made for you on what kind of pictures I need in terms of the actual pictures as well as the size format and everything, so that if you have any questions about a rug that you may own, I can quickly take a look at it and get back to you. So in this video, I want to introduce you, and this is of course done with Clint's permission. He emailed me a few days ago. He's been watching my channel and he mentioned a rug that he owns. He originally sent me a couple of pictures, and this is typical what happens. The pictures were too large in size, and so I forwarded him the link that is also below in the description. I asked him, I said, Clint, if you don't mind, look at the video. So send me the right pictures so that I can quickly take a look at what it is that you have, which he did. And the key thing is, and please, if you are thinking about emailing people, especially when you add large attachments, a lot of servers, email servers, do not exceed more than 10 megabytes. So if the file size is bigger than 10 megabytes, like in the case of Clint's original pictures, my server, I set it up where it automatically deletes the contents. And so all I got was this text email. That's why I emailed him back. I told him, please send me the pictures again, but watch the video below. And he did. He watched the video, and so he sent me pictures of this beautiful gome rug that he inherited, and I hung up a smaller piece that is very similar to what he has sent me. As you can see, these are very classic gome rugs, colors, designs, everything. And to give you a basic, first give you a little introduction about the gome rugs. Gome is what is oftentimes referred to as one of the holy cities in Iran, and it is in the central Iran. The gome rugs are known, the best known silk rugs in what used to be Persia, in Iran. The best known silk rugs that are made in Iran are known as the gome rugs. These are made in the city of Gome. And here is this is a very traditional design, very similar to what, well, Clint sent me. Like I said, I figured I'm going to hang this up. And so what he did was, after watching the video, he sent me 4 pictures. And I'm just going to briefly show you. He sent me the picture of the whole rug. As you can see, he mentioned that he's into Persian rug designs and the art that goes into the designs and how they're made. I think he is an artist himself. He also mentioned that he inherited this piece. He was not looking he wanted information about the rug, but he was not so much looking as reselling. This was actually the type of email that I love to get. He inherited this rug. It came from an estate. He wanted to know basic information about it. And so in addition to the whole picture, he sent me a picture of the signature. And he asked me if I could read and translate the signature. And then, more importantly, he sent me 2 pictures of what I absolutely always recommend to my viewers. If you're going to send me pictures, in addition to the whole rug and the signature, send me a picture of the corner of the rug, if you can, from the front. And then also, as you can see here, from the back corner of the rug. This is probably one of the most important pictures that I can look at, because it tells me an awful lot about not only the type of rug that it could be, but it also tells me about the condition and everything. So 4 pictures. We had the whole rug, we had the signature, we had the top corner with the fringes, and then we had the back corner. Now, to show you what I did was, the first thing I did was I looked at the whole rug. And I've seen enough rugs in my life to be able to look at this and say, yeah, it's probably pure silk, it's probably a gome rug. Judging by how the lighting and everything looks, I can say, yeah, this is a gome. So we're okay with that. Then I took a look at the second picture that he sent me, and this is where things get a little bit interesting. He mentioned to me that he does not know how to read Farsi. So you see the signature right there? Well, as I have mentioned in some of my previous videos, I don't know how to read and write myself in Farsi, in Iranian. I know how to speak enough of the language to be reminded by my family that it's quite ghetto, being born and raised in Germany before I moved to the States. But I thankfully got my friends and family here. So when I got the signature, I did what I always do. Whenever there's any type of writing, I send the picture off to my cousin. I said, Ali, can you please translate for me? And he told me that the signature, it says Iran, Gome, and then the signature's name is Vafai. And that is, it's not Vafai, it's Vafai, the 2 eyes. And this is what the signature translates. And we can tell that, well, it's not a famous workshop in Gome, but it is, we can tell that it's genuine, it's a Gome rug, based on not just the signature, but the following picture. The follow-up picture, and this is, again, you can see the top corner of the rug. It shows the fringes along the bottom, which are obviously damaged, which I will get to in a little bit. But looking at this picture, and then equally important, lastly, we got the picture of the corner where I asked, as I do in my video, I ask you folks, if you can, flip it over, show me the corner of the rug. By looking at the picture, and they are the perfect size picture. The signature was kind of small that he sent me, no big deal, I don't care. But on the corners, I was able to enlarge them, and these were only pictures, I believe they were smaller than 1 megabyte. This is what I need. So he sent me the picture, I was able to enlarge them a little bit, and I immediately saw that yes, this is classic gome. This is classic Iran. So this is a pure silk gome rug. It is made by the Wafai workshop in Gome, Iran. And absolutely, this is very traditional. This is something that probably, we're guesstimating, if you were to ask me, I would say this dates back to the 1970s or 80s. And I look upon this based on the design of the rug and everything. But what he wanted to know was, A, who is the weaver, which I was able to give him the information on. But then he also asked me just my general feedback, any things that I noticed. And when I looked at the pictures again, I noticed a few things and I enlarged them. He mentioned that when he inherited the rug that it was very much worn out, and you can see that in the pictures. And what I've done for you is I've circled the areas. You can see in the picture, inside the circled areas, there is obvious wear. And this is even wear. This is what we actually like to see in the rug business. Not so much in terms of preservation, not so much preserving the value of the rug. But what this shows is that this rug, this gome rug, was used. And it was used evenly. And while the pile has thinned out, it has also condensed. So right now, this rug, what I'm looking at is a very compact silk rug. I would certainly not do any major repairs to the pile itself. I mean, this is the meat of the rug, but as you can see in the pictures, I highlighted the areas where I noticed that there was quite a bit of fading. You can see that in the pictures. And so I saw that. But it's the next pictures. Then I looked at the corners, and I noticed on the corners that the fringes, as you can see, in some places are completely gone. In other areas, they are thinned out. And this is quite common with rugs when they have been owned sometimes over decades. Well, if you take a rug and you vacuum it, as you should, you're probably going to be eventually maybe ripping out some fringes. The vacuum may just rip them out, or just, this is regular wear and tear. But these kinds of rugs are made with the purpose, you can actually repair them. And you can actually do so. The cost is actually not as bad as I'm about to show you. But I wanted to show you, I looked at the picture. I noticed immediately, obviously, the fringes are, parts of the fringes are missing and broken. And then I also noticed along the side of the rug, and this is known as a Shiraz. The side of the rug, right here, it's called Shiraz. And when you look at it closely, you will see that they take the same pile material, in this case it's silk, and they weave around it and basically gives it an edge. The problem is, over decades, oftentimes the edge wears out. And this is something that you will typically see being replaced. Again, with these types of Persian rugs, the two main things that are oftentimes repaired or replaced, one is the fringes, one is the side of the rugs. And as you can see in his pictures, both need to be fixed. So now, what I also wanted to show you was, so I was able to identify the rug, I was able to give him the feedback. Now what I also want to do is, and this is what I told Clint I would be doing in this video, and I didn't bother sending it to him in an email, but I told him, again, with his permission, he told me absolutely use the video, use my pictures in your video, and share it with the community in large. I wanted to show you something, and that is, when you look at the fringes, and the sides. You will notice on most Persian rugs, you have the edge. The very edge tends to be a uniform color. In his case, it's red. The same in this Gom rug. So my suggestion, if this was my rug, this is something that Clint is going to own for many years. He is not going to be, I don't think he's going to get much value out of it in terms of wanting to sell it, simply because of the amount of wear that this rug has had on the main pile in the areas of the rug. But if this was a personal piece to him, as many of you, let's say you inherited a rug, it means a great deal to you. You had family memories that this rug was just a part of. And so I was looking at this rug not in terms of restoring value, but restoring it in such a way that he can enjoy it for many, many years to come, and maybe even pass it on to someone else. And so my recommendation to him would be that he takes the rug and he literally cuts off, this is going to be done by professionals. And I'm going to talk to you about the cost and the time and all that in a little bit. But if it was me, I would take this rug, I would have the fringes removed completely, cut off. Then I would have the Shiraz restored, redone. And what they would do is the repairman would go in, they would take a silk, match it to the one that is already there. And then they would restitch it so that at the end it would be sewn in. When they do it, it would look just like it was brand new, and that will keep the rug from falling apart. Then, as far as the bottom of the rug is concerned, he could, for example, remove about 2 centimeters along the bottom of the rug. And this is typical. This is actually what would typically get done. What I would do is I would take off 2 centimeters along the bottom and top of the rug. And that would expose 2 centimeters worth of fringes. I would then have it re-knotted. And what they do is, on the back of the rug, you will notice, if you own a rug, you will see that there is typically a white, the last piece of white string that goes along the yarn, that goes along the bottom, and this is where they tie the knots. And this is what you would do along the top and bottom. By doing it this way, you have maintained the rug itself, and you have, instead of adding fringes, you have used what is there. Yes, the rug would be about 2 centimeters shorter at the top and bottom. But instead of adding material, you have literally used that rug, natural condition. You have removed, exposed a little bit of the fringes, and then re-knotted the bottom. Now, the other question that I would be oftentimes asked is about the cost. Now, this rug of his is about 2 meters by 3 meters. So it's 6 square meters, or it's about roughly 6.5 feet by 10 feet for my American viewers. And so what you're looking at is, in my opinion, this is about 3 days worth of work. 3 days by a professional. And I want to make sure I say this again. Professional. Don't think when you're at home, you're going to bust out the scissors and get some yarn and start sewing things and cutting things. In my opinion, you're looking at about 3 days worth of work. Based on what I know, when we have many rugs in our warehouse, when we need to get them repaired, I know enough about the rugs to know that, This could be done in 3 days. Now, dollar amount or euro amount or whatever currency in the nation that you're in, I cannot tell you this because I cannot tell you what the cost of living, what the wages, what the cost would be where you are when you're watching this video. But here's what I can tell you. Based on the size of the rug and everything that I've seen, I believe 3 days labor is what would be needed by a skilled rug repairman. And this is something that if Clint were to take this rug to a carpet store, again, he mentioned that he's in Australia. Just about all big cities typically have rug stores, and virtually in every rug store that sells Persian rugs, they also know people that can repair rugs. This is not a rocket science thing that we're talking about, but this is obviously something that needs to be done by someone who has skills and experience and training. And so I want to show you. Here's a perfect example of a viewer who asked me for his feedback, for my opinion and my feedback on the rug that he has. And so, Clint, for watching the video, if you watched it, I hope this information is helpful to you. And for those of you who are new to our channel, obviously, if you're into Persian rugs and this channel, I not only showcase a lot of different types of handmade carpets, but I also try to answer questions. And I have been getting more and more as our channel keeps growing. I do my very best to answer your questions. If you can, if you have questions, please watch the video below. Again, I mentioned it earlier in the video. Watch the video below in the description. And then also you can visit us at mprugs.com. There is my email link. You can send me any pictures you may have or ask me any questions. I do my very, very best to reply to you in a timely manner. Please understand that I also help my family run our business and everything, and this YouTube channel is more of a hobby of mine. It's a way for me to be able to do something that I've been wanting to do for years, and that is allow ourselves to answer questions. We're not trying to solicit something. We're not trying to advertise. This is something that it's something that I'm passionate about. So I hope this video is of help to you. If you enjoyed, again, if you want to hit the subscribe button, you will be updated when we come. I do normally do about 2 videos a week. And so if you're into Persian rugs, feel free to hit that subscribe button. If you give us a likes, I thank you. It helps me. Well, nothing else, it feeds my ego, but I thank you for it. And so I hope this video is of help to not only Clint, but maybe some of you out there who own a rug and have questions. So, like I said, I wanted to share with you some of the experiences about the rug repair and everything on what I would do. So again, I'm looking forward to coming back to you with many more videos to come. In the meantime, I wish you and your family the very best. Stay safe, stay healthy. And I'll be coming back to you with more videos. Take care. Bye-bye.